Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is my Tesla Model X 2016, the flat black. This is the 90P, which some of you know it was the performance model back then. Anyways, I'm shooting this video today because you are not going to believe what happened. My wife has been driving this car around. She's got an extremely good driving record. But as you can see, as I continue kind of pan around the video here, you'll see that something is actually missing. And you guessed it, it is the door. Unfortunately, she got in a little bit of an accident pulling out of the garage with the gull wing door up, and it actually tore the door off the car. I will tell you, she's got an extremely good driving record, no speeding tickets, no accidents. This was just an unfortunate mistake, and luckily our insurance is going to cover 100% of the bill. And I will tell you that this bill is very, very expensive. But the car is currently in service mode right now, which does deactivate a number of different things. You can see even the suspension is sitting considerably lower. Not sure if you guys have ever set your car into service mode, but it actually looks kind of cool sitting that low. But overall, this has been an amazing car for us. It's got close to 70,000 miles on it. We've had a lot of really good success with it. No issues at all. The only thing we've really had to replace is the tires. But this accident, I mean, come on. These types of things do happen from time to time. Anyways, I wanted to record this video to kind of give you guys an idea of what we've gone through. So as we all know, Teslas are amazing cars, but never get in an accident with a Tesla. It just takes forever. This unfortunate incident here actually occurred, about almost 5 months ago. And we've been working with a really, really good auto body shop here in Pleasanton, Livermore, Dublin area. Called B&H. I'm going to actually show you a description of all the parts for the car. They're a great auto shop, but unfortunately, Tesla just does not manufacture all these parts very quickly, and they're in high demand. The auto repair shop even told us that this is actually the most common problem that they've seen with Model X. Is apparently a lot of people do pull out of the garage with the door off. But you can see the detail here. But as I mentioned, this happened about 5 months ago. We've been waiting on parts for the car for the last 5 months, and it's actually going into the shop this next week here. We're about the middle of September. It's actually September 11th today. I'll be posting this video in the next day or so. But you will see that it's really, really difficult to get parts. But when she backed out of the car, the door was not completely off. This has already been over at B&H, and they took the door off in order to examine all the parts they needed to order. But you can see it does get quite detailed here. Even where the seatbelt holder is, you can see there was some electrical sensors in there that the door connected to, so they had to unassemble that. And you can see it gets very detailed in here with the different parts, the motors that lift the door up, and the connection piece there in the middle. As you can see, all those connectors up there, all this needs to be replaced. Even some of the glass you can see scraped, especially on top here, a lot of scraping that occurred, so they're going to replace that piece as well. And up in there, so it's just really, really, really nasty stuff as far as what happened here. The car is really dirty inside. You can see there's some even a missing bolt laying on the ground there, but even you can see the other side of the door there, also the assembly where the seatbelt is, because I think there's sensors over there as well. So, and even in the rear, look back here. I'll go ahead and try to open up the trunk so you guys can see what they took out of there as well. Let's see here if I can actually open this up. Yep, here we go. Okay. But yeah, look at this. So it looks like they did baggy up some of the bolts and screws to keep track of them. But yeah, they even took apart this assembly as well. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe something that controls the door system comes all the way back here as well. Look over here. My goodness, just crazy what they have to do to really look at this. But this has been just a great car, as I mentioned, no problems at all. It is in service mode. That's what it does look like on the main screen there when it's in service mode. And it also shows up on the main screen in the middle there. You can see that as well. So I can drive this car around. I did pull it out into the driveway to do this. Otherwise, I do keep it in the garage right there. So I did pull it out. And again, we are going to get this. It's not safe to drive long distances at all because apparently when the door is shut, it does keep the body structure intact and stronger in case you do get in a accident. So you can't even drive the car with the door like this at all. Even if we wanted to drive it back to the auto body shop, which is really only a few miles away from us, you're not allowed to do that. You actually have to get this towed on a flatbed. But it does drive fine. It's just you're not able to because structurally it would not be able to handle another accident without the door in there. That does make it a little more structurally sound, is what I've been told. But yeah, I mean, just look at this. It's just insane. Everything that they had to unassemble and they're going to have to put back together. They even took up front here. You can see there, even the sides there where a lot of different things that they've had to take apart. And so the car is just dirty. So B&H is going to clean the entire car up, put the door back on, do all the tests to make sure that it's working properly. Overall, they're going to replace all that glass that got scraped and everything. The insurance bill on this is just insane. I think overall, the insurance for, or the cost estimate to fix this door, get all the parts replaced, clean the car up, all those things is about $14,000. Can you believe that? Thank God for auto insurance. But yeah, our insurance is supposed to cover the whole thing. I don't think the rates are going to go up because we've been really, really safe drivers. If some of you wonder what insurance we have, we actually just have Geico. So Geico's been a good insurance provider. Only downside is they did provide about 1 month of car rental as part of our insurance plan. And that's really not good enough for a Tesla because if you ever run into a situation like this and you have to take the car in, unfortunately, the car, as I mentioned earlier in the video, it's been like this for the last 5 months. So we happen to have a third car, so it's been okay because we just park it in the garage. And now, again, this week we're going to get it towed back to the auto body shop where they're going to fix it, get it ready to go. I will shoot another video so you guys can see what the car looks like brand new and clean again. And though we're working properly, I'll give you guys a rating on how good of a job they did. I'm actually very curious how good of a job they're going to do, but I really hope they do a really good job, as you can imagine. This has been such a great car. Only downside on the car is because it is a 2016, the battery really only goes for about 220 miles, totally charged up, but normally we only will charge it to 80 or 85%. So we're just getting under 200 miles on the battery. Just driving around Pleasanton's, not a problem with that at all. But as you guys know, going on any kind of road trip does make it a problem. This car also has lifetime supercharging free. So we do not have to pay for any supercharging. So I think we're going to hang on to this car for quite a bit longer. It's all paid off and everything. So I think we are going to hang on to it. It's been a great car. And as you guys know, the Model X is such a wonderful car with the doors that come up. Just got to be careful backing out of the garage, but the doors that come up are really good. Let me walk you through the different parts here on my screen. Let me go to that. Here's the preliminary estimate that we got from B&H on the door. As you can see, this is my 2016 Tesla Model X P90D all-wheel drive. You guys know the routine here. But they did disassemble the door. This was the estimate that we got prior to that. They did go ahead and take the door off, and then they updated the bill. It's about the same as what you guys are seeing here. So you can see there was a lot of items they needed to do to remove the door in order to see all the parts they needed to actually order. And they had to take some of those panels off we saw in the video to make sure that they had all the right pieces in place that they needed to order. And one of the other things, just so everyone knows, as I mentioned, it takes forever for these parts to come. What Tesla does is they actually will send a few parts every week. They do update the repair shop, but the information is not very good. B&H, B&S was telling us that they were having a lot of problems with getting some parts, saying that some parts were going to come in on a certain week, and then they would change that, and then they would come 2 weeks later. So overall, it wasn't very good as far as the information that came. But you can see they kind of unassembled the door, looked into a lot of the other key things that were needed. They looked at the roof here, so the center molding, some of the panels here, some of the moldings in the rear, different types of elements here, in the pillars and the, I guess, rocker and floor. These are some of the pillars you guys saw in the video. If not, go back and rewind the video. You'll be able to see some of that. So a lot of different things. The front door even got nicked on the moldings, and also in the paint as well. So it made it a little more difficult with the glass, and some of that trim went inside of the car and outside as well. So then the rear door itself, pretty much the whole thing was demolished, and a lot of the metal was bent and things like that. So a lot of different seals, strips here, moldings, as you can imagine here, windows, sensors that were part of that, controllers, all these different things that make up what is involved in the door system itself. So overall, you can see this did happen back in May, but then we actually got the estimate in June by the time we were able to get it over there. And so a lot of those parts were ordered right after this occurred. So this is getting a little more into the door itself, as I mentioned from the previous page, but overall, this was the estimate that we got. Even the quarter panel on the rear did get some nicks on it as well. So they do need to look at doing that. And then obviously some miscellaneous operational items also that they need to gather and get together. But overall, I was telling you that how high the estimate was, but you can see, yeah, almost $15,000. This was prior to them taking the door off, as I mentioned earlier. But once they did get it off, I think it's slightly less than this is what the insurance is paying. I think it's $13,000 and change, so maybe about $1,000 less than what this preliminary estimate was. So anyways, I'm sure some of you guys might have some questions in the comments. Feel free to add those in. Okay, so that's going to conclude our video. I know that there's going to be a number of questions and comments on this video. Feel free to put the comments below. Any questions you guys have at all. Have you guys had an accident with your Tesla at all? Have you noticed that it takes forever to get parts on it? So please put any comments, questions down below. Please give me a like on the video. Again, trying to provide you guys good information about owning electric cars. And also for those of you that haven't taken the poll yet, please go to the community area on YouTube for my channel here and take the poll. I do have a few gas cars and I'm thinking of adding those into the channel as well. So you guys can always click on if you want to get the electric reviews or if you'd like to see the gas car reviews. Also, I am leaning towards adding some of the gas car reviews in. And again, if you don't want to watch those, you don't need to watch them. But I know there's a lot of people that like the gas car reviews as well. And again, I have a 1997 993 Porsche Coupe 4S. It's a great car. Was actually a childhood dream of mine to get that car. I have it now. And then I just ordered another 911 GT3. So that's going to be pretty exciting. It was almost impossible car to get. So anyways, give me a thumbs up on this video. Please let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'm going to post the second part of this video once the car is fully fixed, and we will test the door on the video so you can see live how well that's working. So thanks again for your time, guys. I really appreciate it. Thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot, guys.